Everybody, and I'll go ahead and I'll start up my video here. Thanks Benita for getting this set up for us. Yeah, we are going to go ahead and we are going to record this meeting today. Apologize that we didn't have it set up yesterday so that we could have recorded yesterday's session, but going forward we will record all these sessions in case there's anybody within your organization that wants to hear the conversation or you miss something within the conversation. You can always go back and play it. Hello everybody, my name is Joel Pato. I'm the eVA Technical Project Manager. Responsibilities over eVA with the interface and integration, the technical aspects of the application. Today we're here to talk about the eVA interface and how it is going to work with the new Evalua solution. Maria is going to go ahead and go through kind of some of the discussion points, and then we will open it up for anybody to ask questions as needed. Please ask questions. It'll be an open forum for anybody to be able to ask, and we will do our best to answer the questions as best we can. If we do not know an answer or we are unsure of an answer, we'll let you know that we'll get back with you, and we'll either get back to you personally or we will go ahead and post the questions out. Either way, we will make sure that everybody on here is aware of the questions in case other people have similar questions. So thank you, everybody. I thank everybody for joining us today and taking time to talk with us today.
Okay. As you know, starting January the 3rd, we are migrating to the new and improved eVA. And currently we are working, and this is Maria Hatch. Of course, I support eVA integration and interface. And today's meeting is to talk about interface. What changes will there be for the interface? We had a meeting yesterday about integration. So if you missed that meeting, please send us an email and probably we'll have another meeting. But today's topic is really about import interface and export interface. The agenda, I hope everybody can see the agenda. The first item is the requisition prefix changing from PR to REQ. I know earlier, maybe a month ago or so, I sent some emails with this information, and this is just a repeat and just to make you aware of it. So instead of having the prefix of PR, currently, all the requisition numbers starts with PR. In the new eVA, it's going to start with REQ. Is there going to be any issues for any of the agencies that are exporting, especially the export agencies that are creating requisition in eVA and exporting it, importing it into your ERP? Okay, silent means no. No issues, right? Okay, item 2 says the purchase order prefix that starts with POV, DO, EP, and QQ will change to PO. So all purchase orders except PCOs will start with the prefix of PO now. And an example that is EP or DO or any POs that start with QQ will have the prefix of PO. Any questions? Okay. For those agencies that are currently creating orders in eVA or importing in eVA, we are going to add a new field to the requisition header, the file record layout for order export. And let me explain how this is going to work. When you import orders into eVA, you send us your own PO number. For example, for VDOT, it starts with A501 underscore and then some number scheme generated in your system. When the order is imported in the new eVA, that PO number will be in the new eVA, but it will to your ERP number. And when the order is imported, the new eVA will assign its own PO number, starting with PO. So you'll have both. You have the ERP number and the new eVA PO number. For the order export file, it will have both your ERP PO number and the new eVA PO number, starting with the PO.
So you mean that existing data will be renamed or replaced with like this, or just you're going to maintain in the old data?
For your new data, if you send us like a PO, okay, and it's imported into eVA, and your PO number starts with, I'm going to use VDOT again, A501 underscore some numbers, okay? Correct. It goes into eVA. You will be able to find your PO in eVA using your ERP PO number, but eVA is automatically going to assign it an eVA PO number start with PO. Okay, so if you go into eVA, you can find the PO either using your ERP PO number or the eVA PO number. On the order export file, okay, on the requisition header, you have like a field PO. I have the screen up.
See, in previous case, actually, all the prefix only are changing. The numbers is not changing, right? But in this case, actually, the number is also changing in your example itself. Okay. So, are you going to generate the new sequence?
No, let me talk. Okay. You see my screen where you see PO number? Okay. On the order export, you will still see your PO number as using VDOT 501, whatever the ERP PO number that you send us. Okay?
Okay, got it.
And we're going to add a new field to the end of this record, and we're going to call it iValue PO number. This is the generated PO number in the new eVA.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one. Is this going to be available on the test system?
Yes, definitely. And we need people to test.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And who is this? You want to volunteer?
This is Jim Smith from PCE.
Okay, yes, definitely. Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Vicki Chapman. I have a question. Will the current eVA orders within eVA also have the expanded PO number at the end, or only the new ones that we generate?
Is CGI online?
This is University of Mary Washington.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Maria. I think that we're going to keep it consistent. Say all transactions will have that iValue PO number. So even if it's a repeat, so if it's a new transaction generated inside iValue, we're still going to add it into that field so that all order exports look the same, if that makes sense.
But I believe the question is based on what is already being sent out, right?
Yeah, the existing one, the converted one.
Right.
So the converted one, since we're not doing the change orders, hopefully we're not resending that stuff out. But I think any new order export file generated, I think after we go live is going to have that value.
So for the converted one, once they are converted in the new eVA, I should still use my ERP PO number to find that in the new eVA?
In the new eVA, I mean, you'll be able to, you're talking about in the online application?
Yes.
You can still search for that old ERP PO number and pull up the transaction, yes.
And that does not matter if it's a converted, a PO, or a new PO?
I don't know if we've discussed, I think we have to, so the users can find it, right? We're going to have to let it be searchable values so people can find it, so.
Does that answer your question?
Can I say it back to you and make sure I understand it correctly?
Sure.
The current orders that we have in EVA today that are converted over to the next gen, they will not have the PO extension onto them, only the new ones. When we create a new order,
Okay, Vicky, currently you just, you're doing the order export, right? You're creating orders in EVA and then you download the file the next day.
right?
So your PO number, okay, you're not importing into EVA. You are exporting out of EVA into your ERP. So the PO number and the new field, the iValue PO number will have the same PO ID. Because you're not importing into EVA.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be a PO, whatever the number assigned in EVA for both fields. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a
Hey, this is
question.
Sam.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yes, my question is relates to item number 2,
Mhm.
where you're changing the order prefix. We use that prefix to, for instance, we don't process the EPs that come back that are in the order export file. Is there another field that we can use to identify different types of POs?
What do you mean by different types of POs?
Well, an EP versus a DO.
Okay, all the POs, when you go into EVA and you start a requisition, all the POs will start with PO. There is no
Okay.
more EPs and DOs and POBs.
Okay, I'm not a user, so I don't know the difference between the current EP and a current DO. But in our processing, we do not process the EP, the purchase orders that begin with an EP. So apparently there's some reason why we don't. Maybe Vicky can help me out here as to how do we identify in the future these EPs that we do not currently put into our system.
Linda, we're not bringing in the PCOs, which are credit card order numbers. That's number 6.
Mhm.
And when we very first started EVA way back, I think we used DO. DO. Yeah, the DO maybe. Yeah,
Yes,
way back, DO, direct order. And then we went to the EP. Is that right, Maria?
Right. Mhm.
And we dropped that prefix just because it doesn't fit into the banner fields.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, and while on here, let's talk about 6 for PCOs. You say you're not importing PCOs. PCOs, the prefix is not changing. It would still see PCO and whatever the sequence numbers are.
Okay. Hey, this is Sammy from Beta.
Mhm.
So the question, I just want to clarify the question that the previous person asked. So the existing PO, let's assume that someone creates a change order after January 22nd, 2022. Will that impact is there going to be any change?
Okay, Doug, you want to step in now?
Yeah. So we are not in the application allowing change orders to converted requisitions. So users will have the requisition would be functionally stopped. They would need to cancel and create a new transaction going forward.
Oh my.
Okay. So let me put this question the other way. So after January 2nd, the existing POs all needs to be rekeyed on January 2022, so that those transactions will be carried forward. Is that right?
So we're going to convert them in, so they'll be in the solution, so you can check them. And if a user does need to cancel, they'll be able to cancel. But if you have to do a change order, then you'd have to re-enter that transaction.
Okay, so when you recreate it, does it? Is there a way to identify which one belongs to what? I mean, let's assume a PO. Let's assume I created a PO today, which starts with EP 1234. So
Right.
will it have an equivalent PO which starts with PO 1234, or is something completely different number?
It's going to get a different number. What we're going to try to do for the users is display the EP 1234 in the UI, and in the tool you'll see it has a better searching mechanism than the current Ariba tool. They'll be able to search for that EP 1234, and that transaction will come back, so that they can find their older transactions.
So the system is going to rekey all the existing active POs, so that all the POs that you have in the system all start with PO.
Yes.
After January 2022.
Yes.
Okay.
Maria, this is Vicki.
Thank you.
What impact will this have on all of our vendors? We have a lot of capital projects. We probably have, I don't know, 80 that have been going on for years. And so we have to, since we can't issue a change order on them, we recreate the purchase order from at the capital level. Is that an increase then to vendor fees?
So the fees, Maria, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. So when you cancel the old purchase order, those fees are kind of refunded, and then the new one. So the net should be the same based on the change order. It shouldn't be like a double fee situation. You should be credited back those fees on the cancel.
So if I had a $100,000 purchase order, I cancel it rather than enter it in, let's say for the 50,000 due, I would enter it for the full 100,000.
Right. So you would cancel the old one. If at 100,000, enter the new one for 50,000, and then the eVA fees would be you would only get charged the 50,000 and you get a refund for the old one.
And the 100,000 goes into my operating ledger and totally has to be changed on my side, on the banner side, for all of those orders.
I'm not as familiar with on your side, but if you have to cancel them out manually, we would still send the cancel transaction out, so you could import that if you're currently assuming the order.
Can I ask a question, please, based on Vicky's question? I thought I understood you guys to say that these POs would roll into the new system. So whatever nomenclature we use to call the old PO versus a new PO, PO 123 for $100,000 at the end of December would roll into the new system as whatever nomenclature for $100,000. So the eVA fee wouldn't be affected, right? Tell me what I'm missing, please.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to bring those POs over, so the fees and any processing at the end of the month would still happen. We're just not going to allow a user to do a change order to those POs.
But so in Vicky's case, if she has a PO that rolls over to the new eVA next year, she would be able to use those POs normally. If she has a change order, then she would have to cancel the old PO and create a new one. Is that correct?
Right. That's our current plan.
Okay, thanks. And did I hear you to say that the numbers, I know that the prefix changes, but will the remainder of the numbers carry? So PO 1234 for me today, will that be PO 1234 tomorrow?
No, we're going to be renumbering.
Okay, thank you.
And the search, this is obviously something we'll be testing and hopefully testing with end users too, is you'll be able to search for that old EP number. So our users can go into the search bar, type the old one in there, it'll pop up.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other question?
Maria, this is Vicky again. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to visualize my export files. We have some wonderful export files from our RT department, and they give me the current, of course, EP number and then the specifics on the order. So I'm envisioning the same type of report that tells me the old number and the PO add-on.
No, the order export is for whatever orders were created the previous day, right?
Yeah, and that's not going to happen because of the change order. I got it. I had to
Right.
think of that. Yep, yep. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Maria, yeah, this is Jim Smith again, BC. You said the test systems will be available. Do you know, are they available now, or do you know when they will be?
No, they're not available right now. Joel, let Joel chime in.
I would just say, so the online application, I think, Maria, we're releasing it to the internal DGS team just to shake down. I think it's planned for early next week. As far as order import and those things, I think we need a little bit more time, but we are expecting we'll have some environments for people to test in the next few weeks.
Yeah, no, really, Doug, from a integration or interface perspective, we're probably looking to closer towards the end of October for folks to be able to kind of get in and do testing. We've got a lot of programming work on our side that we still need to complete for this changeover. So realistically, it's going to be closer towards the end of October for interface and integration testing.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. As far as you sending us file and receiving files from eVA, you're still going to use the Java client. That's not going to change. Nothing is changing about the process. The structure, for those who are importing into eVA, the structure will remain the same. The only thing that's going to be, well, the order export, you'll have the extra field on the header, but the expectation is that everything is going to work the same for the uploading and downloading. I do want to mention with the vendor, for those people who are downloading the vendor files, how many people are downloading those files?
VDOT is downloading those files.
Yeah. Some of the fields, in the current system right now for vendors probably will not be available in the new eVA, but we are not changing the structure. If that field is no longer available, we're going to have a placeholder. It will be null. So this way your structure will not change. It will not cause your process to break. Once we have identified those fields, we will send that information out.
Do you have an estimate on when you'll know that? I think what I'm hearing is that your file format will not change, so our integration itself won't be impacted. But what we'll need to understand is the changes that are taking place in the actual data, so that we can look at business rules and things like that in the consuming systems and see if there are any impacts there. Do you have an estimate for when you'll know what changes are occurring in your data model?
No, I do not have an estimate. Doug, do you have any idea, or Joel?
I think we're close to being able to share that. I think in the next few weeks, hopefully is our goal, is to really get that stuff out to you, at least get you guys a sample of some of that stuff. I know Maria's team is testing the integration piece, and hopefully the vendor files right behind that.
Would you share that on the same non-prod site that we're using currently to consume that file, or would it be a new sandbox kind of site that would stand up for these changes?
No, it will be the same process that we use right now. We'll just be pointing to the new UAT environment.
Thank
the
you.
Process on your end will not change.
Gotcha. Thanks. One other question from VDOT. As far as I know, we are only directly consuming vendor information, but I think that we have a dependency through Cardinal on some of the PO and order side of things too. I was wondering if Department of Accounts and Cardinal team are represented here on the call.
We are here.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yep.
Is there any changes to the receivers?
That's part of the order export file. There should be no changes. Yes.
No change. Okay, perfect.
Maria, this is Vicki. I'm still chewing on this one concept of my file.
That's okay.
So thank you for your patience with me. All right, I have a scenario. Purchase order, I need a change order. Okay, order flows over to the new environment. I have a change order on it. I can't do a change order, right? So I cancel that order out and I enter the PO number. The PO number creates a PO number. The PO number flows over to my export file, right? So I can review it. How do I know how to associate that back to my original order? Because in my database, I have an open encumbrance that I need to relieve.
Okay, so if you do a cancellation, right? You're going to do a cancellation the next day, right? In your file that you download the next day, you will see the cancellation with the old number. You will not have a new number and an old number. The cancellation will have the old number.
Okay, and then the new one will follow.
Once you create the new order, it will have the new number, the PO sequence number.
That will work. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
Got a quick question for you. So will the agency be given an option not to create new orders for the existing POs?
No, everything is going to be converted.
Everything is going to be converted. Okay.
Yes, I mean, all your orders will be that you currently have in the system today will be converted over into the new system. But and you won't have to do anything to any of your existing orders unless you have a change that you would like to make. So,
Right.
within the criteria range, and it's one of the orders that we're bringing over, if you don't have to do if you don't have to make any previous order, then there is no changes that need to be made. That order just will continue to exist in the system. And it's only when you're making the change order that another action will be needed to make.
Right.
I have a question for you, Joel. For the converted orders, as far as reports, like Logi reports and all that, is it going to show both the old PO number and the new PO number?
Yeah, I mean, with the reports area, I mean, we have full control over what we do. I mean, we'll certainly want to go through some report rework, and yeah, we will ensure that all the eVA reports have both numbers on there.
Okay.
What about the actual screen, the user screens? When they look at a PO, will they be able to see the old PO number?
Yes. Yeah, we plan on adding the existing PO number on there that you have today, and then also with the new value of PO number will be in the future. So you'll have both those numbers on the screen, which gives you the ability to search either way you like. So you go into Evalua, and I'll tell you the search features within Evalua are quite strong. And so you have the ability where you could go over there, and if you know what your existing PO number is today, you'll be able to type it in there and pull up the new Evalua order for that, which will have both PO numbers on there for you.
And the purchase requisitions, that those screens will show the new PO number or the old PO number or both? And which link will be clickable?
I don't know, Doug, do you know?
When the search results return, the new PO number is the clickable link. And then when they pull the order up, they should see both of those values. But the PO, the new PO numbers, is what's going to be kind of the clickable field.
Hey, Joel, this is Ismail. I think in answering one of the questions, somebody said all purchase orders will be converted. Isn't the plan is to convert POs that are only 2 years old, right? Beyond that.
Yeah, there is a condition. No, you're absolutely right. And sorry if I misspoke there previously. It's not every order, within the past 20 years is being brought into the new system. We have posted out there. I don't know if y'all have seen the transition newsroom site area where you can go over there, and there's been a lot of frequently asked questions as we've been going through things. A lot of people have been asking questions. We do the best to take all those questions and post them out there for people to see. Anybody is welcome to go out there. If you go to the main eVA website, you'll see a transition newsroom up at the top middle of the page. You can click on it, and there will be frequently asked questions in there. And in that section, we certainly have the criteria of the orders that are transferring into the value application. So it won't be every order from day one. It's orders that have had activity on them within the past couple of years. So I would suggest that, if anybody has any kind of questions on what orders are transferring over, that, we look at the transition newsroom, and it'll have the definition in there for what is transferring. But you're absolutely right, Ishmael, that it is not every order is being transferred into the value application. Now, what I will tell you is every order will remain within our reports and resource center. So our data warehouse is not going away. It is not being cleaned up. We still will have all information in there for every order since the beginning of time. And we do have PO reports that are out there. So if you're just curious about one particular PO, you can run that PO report. I believe it's the 203 for that particular order, and bring it up, and you'll see your PO just the way it is today. And, you can print it out if need be, anything you would like to do. So within the application or the data warehouse, you should be able to get any of the information you're looking to see.
Joel, what constitutes a modification? Can we just add a comment? Because we have at VDOT lots of POs that are more than 2 years old that are still active, but haven't necessarily had any reason to modify them. So I'm hoping we can just add a comment, and that constitutes a modification. Otherwise, we're going to lose a lot of POs.
Yeah. So the status that we are looking at is the last modified date. So anytime you make a material change, it does get impacted. That date gets updated. Doug, you could correct me if you had a comment. I think last modified date is updated, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So yeah, that's
Right.
definitely one way to.
And it goes to the data warehouse, so it would be more active.
Hey, Joel, will this Zoom meeting being recorded, will this be posted to the to your website also?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's our plan going forward. So any of these future meetings, we plan on recording and posting it out there to the transition newsroom. And we'd also like to continue having these meetings more frequently now that we're starting to, make some traction in these areas. Certainly as additional questions come up, people are welcome to either send them to us, and we'll get them answered. And posted, answered directly back to you. But even questions that are asked us directly, we will take those questions and we will post them, for the general community. Because questions, chances are, if you've got a question, other people are either thinking it or should be thinking about it. And we just want to keep everybody on board. And so we definitely have plans of having more regular meetings like this, where we bring everybody together. If we know of anything new or additional, we'll certainly share it with you. We'll have group conversation, talk about it. But yeah, we do plan on posting these to the transition newsroom. And I did see that chat come through. I will get that URL for you and I will post it back in the chat. Well, thank you, Michael. Michael beat me to it. Thank you very much. But yeah, we will plan and we will continue this platform that we're using here today.
Great, thanks.
Okay, are there any other questions?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay. All right. Well, if you have questions later on, you can always reach out to me and Joel, and we'll try our best to provide the information that you need. Now, the only thing for VDOT folks, I know we have not talked about solicitations. We're still working on that, the import of solicitation and bid tabs and so on. So we're still working on that. As soon as we have concrete information, we will send it to you.
Maria.
Maria, please include the Cardinal team for any correspondence regarding the file status for the solicitations too. Thanks.
Yeah, Cardinal, like Mike Hall and people like that. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, I have that information. Yes.
Hey, Maria, quick question.
Yes.
I believe you mentioned that the file format is not going to change for export files, but to correlate the old PO with the new PO, that information needs to be on the file. So I believe the file format will change.
But we only added one additional column to the header, which will have the PO number, the new PO number in the new eVA.
Okay, as usually you're going to add it at the last as a last column in the
right
in that row.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And I will say, and I will send an update. I need to make a lot of changes to the record layout because we have a lot of reference to Ariba. You know, Ariba now is gone with the new system. Now it's iValue. So I need to make changes and adding this new column to the header. Then I'll send it out to everybody.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Joel, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I just wanted to thank everybody for their time today. Thank you for taking the time to join with this conversation. Thank you, everybody, very much for all the questions. I'm certainly sure that, additional questions will come up in the future. And as they do, please reach out to us. We're happy to talk about this and very, very excited for the new solution. I think this is going to be really a great move moving forward and very excited for it. And so we will let you know. We'll let you know as soon as we have additional information, anything that's pertinent to you. And we'll share it again and we'll get additional ones of these meetings created so that we can kind of talk through some more. But I do appreciate everybody's time today and thanks for working with us.
Yes, and thank you for attending the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful day.
You too. Bye. Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody.
Bye.